Welcome to the Shamrock Student Sessions. These are segments hosted by us, current Shamrock students. I'm Mallory Dreesen.
I'm Josie Rother.
And I'm Rebecca Kosch. Mallory and I are both seniors, and Josie is a junior. And at Scotus, we are in video production. So I'm involved in NHS, HOSA, and journalism.
I'm involved in NHS, soccer, and journalism.
I'm currently in volleyball, and I also do basketball and student council and HOSA. Okay, what do you guys like to do in your spare time? For me, I would say watching Husker volleyball, especially right now, it's really fun. Hanging out with friends, getting Dairy Queen ice cream, and taking naps. Josie, how about you?
I do competition dance, so that takes up a lot of my extra time. But I also like to bake and paint.
Yeah. For me, working. I like to work in my free time. I work at the Hy-Vee Pharmacy, so if you ever see me, make sure you say hi. And then also, I just like to hang out with my family. My family's always over. And go work out and be active.
That's awesome. Rebecca, tell us about your niece. We want to know details about her.
Okay, so yeah, my niece, Evie, she was born August 17th, I want to say. And I'm her godmother. She was just baptized recently. But yeah, very exciting. She's the cutest little thing. And
that's special.
Yeah, love her to death.
So what are some favorite memories that we can think of as a junior high student? That's a long time ago. I just remember being intimidated by upperclassmen. And I could never get my locker open. But it all worked out in the end. Teachers were nice and understanding. Mrs. Anuka, I think, was my favorite teacher.
Junior high was pretty dull. I mean, it was just about friends and, doing what you kind of wanted to do. Like, everyone did all the sports, so basically it was just who could get the ball up. Like, honestly, it wasn't very competitive.
Yeah, agreed. Josie?
I would just say waking up at 5 a.m. for practice has got to be ingrained in my brain from junior high.
Yeah, I don't miss that.
That was awful.
I don't miss that.
So since you guys are seniors now, what's so different about the rest of high school?
I feel like now in my free time during my study halls, instead of studying for all the quizzes for like chemistry like we did last year, we are trying to prepare for college and figure out where we want to go and what we want to do. And since Mrs. McPhillips is back, she's been helping a lot with preparing us and helping us, and she's pulled every senior out of class to talk about what we have for our future, like what we see in our future. And so yeah, I feel like just now I'm using my free time differently than I have the past few years, and yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, I would say it's very stressful as a senior to figure out what you want to do with your life. I mean, I'm sure a lot of us will change our majors and what we're going into, but just having that solid thought of like what you're going to do and where you're going to go, and also like applying for colleges, it's just kind of a lot, and it's a lot of work a lot of us don't want to do. So yeah, it's just kind of like forcing us to do it. But
yeah, I agree.
Just make sure you're ahead of the ball when you're ready to do that, Josie, so that you don't have to make it so stressful.
Yeah. I feel like there's a good majority. I don't know. I feel this way, like for our senior class. If I've asked people, like, oh, where do you think you want to go? And I've had more, I have no ideas than, oh, like I'm gonna go here. Exactly. And I just feel like a lot of our class doesn't really know what we want to do or where we want to go yet. And that's like totally fine right now. But I don't know. I just think it's funny but it's also a good thing, so I don't feel like I'm the only one that's like super, super behind. But yeah, like Becca said, I'd definitely say to get ahead of, the ball, like she said, and start looking now and going on colleges. It doesn't hurt anything, and it just helps prepare.
Yeah.
Yep.
With Jacob being a senior, he's my brother. I actually have a college visit next Monday.
We're at
Iowa State.
Ooh.
It'll
That's
be
fun.
Great.
That'll be interesting.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Why are you looking into Iowa State?
They have a really good animal science program, and that's
Oh.
kind of what I want to do. And their engineering program's really good, and then so Jacob wants to do engineering. So
Rebecca, do you have an idea of what you want to do?
Yeah, so I was looking at doing is it gen eds? Is it my gen eds at CCC?
Yeah. Yep.
Because I feel like the cheapest route is the best way at this point in life.
Especially if you don't know what you want to do yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I kind of want to transfer over to Southeast in Lincoln to go into rad tech school because they have a program there.
Mhm.
And I feel like that would be the cheapest route than going to Methodist or Clarkson
Yeah.
or UNMC.
Right?
Like, same thing.
Yeah. Would you taking x-rays? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like x-ray CTs, mammograms.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
What about you, Mallory?
Well, after my freshman year, after I had surgery, I was constantly in the physical therapy clinic. So, the past couple of years, I've been I think I just want to be a physical therapist because I really like the environment. But now that I've shadowed other things, I've shadowed Andrew Sheridan, our athletic trainer here. And just the other night at the football game, and we were on the sidelines, and I actually loved it. I didn't want to leave. And I don't know, I've just been really enjoying the athletic training. And it's kind of the same thing, but I like the high school environment and the teenager kid age, because I don't think I would have enough patience for older people in physical therapy. But yeah, I don't know, I think there's a good chance I'll probably just go to CCC. I might play volleyball there, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Then after, if I do choose the athletic training route, then I'll probably go to CCC for 2 years and then possibly Wesleyan for 3 years, and then you can end up with your master's. So I feel like that's a good deal if I decide to do that. So, yeah, still all up in the air though. So
Yeah, that's fair.
we'll see. We'll see where life takes us.
That's exciting, though.
Yeah.
It's good to just have somewhat of a plan.
Yeah, exactly. So, back into the swing of things and in school, how are you guys fitting family time into our busy schedules? Rebecca?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say I see my nephews almost every day, so I never not have time to hang out with them. It's like my siblings at this point, because, they're just always on my nerves, but it's fun. And then, family comes back, and I talk to my mom a lot and tell her what's going on, just because I feel like it's good to have someone give you wise words of wisdom of, what to do with your life. And sometimes there's just fun things to, learn about your family.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say I make more of a priority to hang out with them than to hang out with, people on the weekends, just because it is senior year and I'm not going to see my family as much next year.
Right.
I feel like just making it a priority to hang out with your family on the weekends instead of friends is a big thing with keeping family time in when you're in school and you're super busy. Especially for me, we always make sure to have family dinners every night, and then on Saturday family lunch obviously, but we also try to have family game nights.
Oh,
That is
I
super
love
cute.
that. Yeah, that's good. Usually for me, I have practice every day after school until 6 or 6:30, and then when I get home, I'm starving, and usually my mom has something made, which I'm grateful for, but either my mom or dad work till 8 at night, so then after I'm all showered and everyone's kind of getting ready for bed, honestly, at 8 or 8:30, that's when we all catch up after we say prayers and the boys are asleep. That's kind of when we find time to actually sit down and talk to each other. Me and my sister, Hannah's in 8th grade, and yeah, I always find us having our catch-up time, at later at night, right before we go to bed, which is always good, just to catch up on the day and say how school was, what's going on, and But yeah, I agree with the family time on the weekends. I mean, like, we can't take our families and our siblings for granted because, I mean, Rebecca and I are going to go to college next year, which is so crazy to think about, and we won't have as much time. So the friend and family balance is definitely a key thing throughout high school, just to find time. I mean, friends are super important to have, but also your family is going to be there forever. So finding the family time is definitely important.
Josie, I wanted to ask you, so since you're the last one in your family and Jacob's going to leave, isn't your older brother still?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But how do you feel with Jacob leaving?
I honestly feel like once Jacob leaves, my other older brother is going to leave as well, because he's finishing stuff online. Like, he's finishing his degree online with Metropolitan. So, like, once Jacob leaves to his college of choice, I feel like my older brother's also going to leave. So, all eyes on me from my parents, which honestly would be a lot of pressure because my dad takes my brothers out doing stuff all the time. So I feel like the pressure to be, like, keeping my dad entertained on the weekends is going to be a thing. And also, like, they both bring so much, like, their own personality, so, like, them being gone from the house will definitely be a void. So hopefully Jacob's either most likely going to go to UNL or Iowa State, which both are moderately far away, not too bad.
Right.
And Owen's probably just going to go to Omaha, most likely. But it'll definitely be a change. How about you, Becca?
Well, I would give you some advice because I am the youngest and I've lived in the house by myself for, well, not by myself, but for a while.
Yeah.
And, well, the thing is, I loved living by myself. Like, I loved with my siblings being gone. And sometimes, like, even them coming back, I was just like, can you go? Like, because I just love having that space and all that. But it's definitely sad and it's hard because I feel like you kind of are like, oh, my siblings don't care about me anymore because you don't really talk to them as much. But it makes it more fun throughout the holidays for them to come back.
It's good for me to learn from you guys, so I know, like, how the younger kids feel. Me, on the other hand, I'm the oldest, and so I don't know, that's what's really, like, wanted me to stay close is my siblings, because my youngest brother is gonna turn 4 in a couple days, so it's like they still have so much growing to do, and I don't want to miss out on all of it. And so yeah, I've definitely been thinking about that too, because it's like you have your parents, but you also have siblings, and that, I don't know, I feel like I've spent so much time with my siblings, so it's like it's going to be so weird. And it's always loud in my house, and in a college dorm, it's definitely not the same, but
No.
Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah.
One other thing that will be super weird is going to Mass, like, alone, because we're always rolling into Mass late. And, like, I finally won't have an excuse to being late. Like,
Who usually holds up the...
Owen, he's insanely slow. Insane. It takes him, like, 10 minutes to put on his shoes. Kid you
That's
not.
hilarious.
Would-
I do see you guys roll up late into church
Oh my gosh,
sometimes.
all the time.
Would you say you and Jacob are pretty close, considering you're only, like, a year apart?
Yeah, I'd say we're pretty close. We have kind of the same humor, I guess.
So I have a question. What are some of your favorite classes over the years?
For me, Mr. Brockhouse's class, I mean, as much as I get called out for in his classes, it's, like, funny, and I feel like you can always just say something back to him, and he'll just, like, either take it really defensively, or he'll just, like, brush it off, and it's just kind of funny to see how he, like, reacts. And being in his government class, I feel like it's so much different than being in his modern problems.
Modern
problems? And, like, all those classes, because, I don't know, I feel like he just acts different. He's, like, more open in government class, and it's just funny.
Yeah. I think some of that is because we're all seniors in government, but also government is fun because we go through the news every morning, and I actually feel like I know what's going on. Before I'm like super uneducated in that, just like in general, and so government has honestly helped me a lot learn about like what's going on, especially it's been fun because of the election, so he always has something funny to say. My favorite class over the years is honestly, I really liked chemistry, and I know it's a lot of work, but Mrs. Dussel is probably the best teacher I've ever had, and I'm not even joking when I say that, because she's so prepared, and I learned a lot of that, and I feel like it'll stick. I mean, some of it will stick with me if I ever need it again, but I agree with government. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's grown on me.
And I agree with Mrs. Dussel. She taught a lot of valuable lessons, not even just by like,
chemistry
learning
part.
chemistry.
Yeah, agreed.
Josie, what about you?
I'd also definitely say chemistry because Mrs. Dussel is just great. And especially taking it as a sophomore, we were kind of the guinea pigs of the science classes. Getting moved up and taking biology a year earlier made it possible for us to take chemistry our sophomore year. And I'd say it was just great. It was a great introduction into like taking more demanding classes as you get older, especially with junior year taking anatomy now. It was a great introduction, so I'll be able to take anatomy and advanced biology in 2 separate years, kind of cutting the work in half. It'll be great.
Super nice.
Yeah.
I feel like them changing, like the school changing the chemistry to earlier ages, it makes the freshman and sophomore more busy.
I totally agree with what Becca said. Just having like a more challenging class as a sophomore, and I mean one of the questions is like how has Scotus prepared you for after high school and like your future, and I think that's really important is having younger students take more challenging classes just so that you, like I said, are prepared. And I don't know, I can think that's just a really good like challenge for younger kids. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't suit everyone. I mean, there are kids that don't take it their sophomore year or didn't last year because there wasn't enough spots or something, but I don't know, yeah. I think that's just one thing that Scotus has that can prepare you for after high school.
Yeah.
And also with like the new classes we have, like health science, the CNA class. I feel like our school is helping us push towards like completing college courses too before going to college, so that you don't have to do as much when you go into college, and also not to spend as much.
Right. And like you said about having already some like college classes done, just like Scotus almost helps lift the burden of all of the hard, challenging classes, just because, I mean, there are kids that have independent studies this year and have a professor online. Mm-hmm. So I feel like then you actually gain like an understanding of what's going to happen next year. And yeah, that's just another way that we are prepared after high school, and I think that's a really good thing.
So what do you think that are some of the opportunities we have that the other schools might not have?
One thing that comes to my mind right away, and it's not necessarily about the education, but about our faith, is that we have chapel access 24/7, and I mean, it's just down the hallway, open for anybody during the day. And I know that teachers and like adults have said this before, that we're so lucky, and it truly, like, no one will realize it until we leave here and realize that we have it so easy to like go and pray and just have silent time. I just think that we're super fortunate to have that access 24/7, and I feel like I've utilized it more the past year and a half, just because we've been more stressed out and there's been more things to think about, and I think that just getting away for only 5 minutes, if that's all the time we have, is super important. And I like just going in there and honestly just sitting there for just a couple minutes just to recollect my thoughts, and it's a good stress reliever.
Yeah. Josie, what do you think?
I'd say that there's just like a great like friendship between all the students. Usually when you get into bigger schools like CHS, there's like divisions between like more sports-driven kids and like artsy kids. But here at Scotus, I know everyone in my class, and I have talked to everyone in my class before, and really it's not awkward if you have to sit next to someone who's not in your friend group, because we've grown up together, and like we just have such a great community, like such a great friendship even between people that you don't normally talk to. For example, like some of my best friends are like musical kids, one-act kids, and like I just have such great conversations with them because we're not involved in the same things. It makes it really great to have different friends like that, because if not, your conversations in school can kind of get what's it called, mundane and like repetitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's just
It's really important that we have uniforms, just because then I don't have to figure out what I'm wearing every day, which is super nice as a girl, because I feel like I would stress about that. But I think that's probably what I would say, because it's just easier throwing on something.
It looks classy.
It does.
Like, uniforms, as much as, like, kids do complain about them, I mean, since we have new logos and stuff on ours, we also have a t-shirt, and I feel like that's a really big deal, because it's not like we're uncomfortable. I mean, I'd say our school uniforms are, like, comfortable for the most part, or you find something that you like.
Yeah.
But also it just looks so nice, like, in pictures and things like that are posted online. I mean, I don't know. I just like how we all look nice.
And I feel like also with uniforms, it prepares us to, like, wear more business clothing and not look sloppy when we go into jobs or in the future just dressing in general and out in public.
Right. What's something that the younger generation has that we didn't or won't that you guys are jealous of? Josie?
I would definitely say AR. It's changed a lot over the past few years. At least when I was in junior high and freshman year, I had to do one less point than the maximum points, so I was reading 4 or 5 books a quarter, which was just a lot, and now they changed it, so the readers get to choose like more books that they want to read and not just have to read out of needing to get your points done.
Yeah, I would say the school uniforms, since we've got new ones, they're just a lot more classy and more comfortable, and I don't know, I just like them better. But also, I want to include, like, the classes. We have new classes, and I just think that it's going to be more important. Like, it's more important now that they have those classes, so they know what they want to do with their future.
Yeah, they kind of get a head start on things that we didn't get to. So, yeah.
This has been another edition of Shamrock Student Sessions. I'm Rebecca Kosch.
I'm Josie Rother.
And I'm Mallory Dreesen. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe to the Shamrock Green Room podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and listen to another Shamrock Student Sessions.
Go
Shamrocks!